Let me show you a few final touches that I'm going to apply to my layout, but that doesn't mean that you have to do these to yours. Your layout is going to be completely unique, and your concept is going to require maybe some different variations of what I'm doing here. You can see at the bottom of my menu, I've got these decorative stripes that just give the layout a little bit of visual weight and help to kind of lock everything together. I'm going to repeat these on the top of my layout as well. So these were created using the line tool, and if I click on one of these, you can see that the weight of this is 10 points. If I make it 40, it's gigantic. If you decide to do something like this, you can combine different rule weights. So maybe you want something like a thicker rule on top and a thinner one on the bottom. If you go to your stroke menu, you can choose different styles. So maybe a dashed line could add an interesting a little bit of interest down here. And actually, I really like that. Maybe I'll just leave it alone. What I could do if I want to copy these decorative elements to the top of my layout is to just shift click each of these rules and group them. Command C to copy. Now I'm going to press Shift Option Command V to paste in place. I have a newer version of Illustrator, and they've recently just changed that command. It used to be Shift Command V. So if you don't have the most up-to-date version, then you might just check the keyboard shortcut. But either way, you can find a paste in place command up in the edit menu. So I could just drag it right to the top like that, but I actually want to rotate this 180 degrees so that it's facing the other way. So again, the way I created that is I just used the line tool, click Shift and drag. I chose a stroke color and then a stroke weight, and I'll exaggerate this so that you can really see it. And then if you want to, you can go to the stroke menu and choose a type of stroke. So you could even create, some various types of decorative elements like that. Okay. Again, it's not required that you do this, but it might lend a little bit of flair to your layout. All right. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put a descriptive header. I'm going to place that above my body text. So I've got a text frame with two columns here, and I want that header to span these two columns. And what I could do is just go to the type tool and just start typing. So specialty pizza is what I want to use as a header. And I could style that. Let's see, I'm going to use Minion. Okay, and I could just move that into position if I wanted to. This is kind of the simple way to do it if I wanted to. Center it easily. I just expand my text frame so that it goes from one margin to the next, and I've got a centered header. But a little bit more sophisticated way to do this would be to place it inside of this existing text frame and then use some options to to span these two columns. So what I need to do is click before my first item and hit return, and I'm going to paste the text that I've already typed right in there. So I created a new paragraph. It's only a single line paragraph, but every time you hit return, InDesign is understanding this as a new paragraph. And right now, even though I have this text aligned center, it's going to stick to this first column that I placed it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this little drop-down menu right here up in the control panel, click that and choose Span Columns. And let's turn on our preview and Span Columns. And I really didn't have to do anything at all since I have two columns. The default is Span All Columns. So if I had a 4-column layout or a 6-column layout, maybe I'd only want it to span the first 2 or 3. Okay, so that takes care of that. I don't want to just type in my text and choose a typeface and a size, but I want to refine it typographically a little bit. So I'm going to use the character menu, bring that out. And if you don't see all of these options, you want to click on this little options button and choose show options. You want an option that is called tracking. And right now I've got -25 tracking on it. I'm not sure that that's the default. I might have already had that set. But normally you're going to have 0 as the default. And you can see that there's some, I would say, for a type that's set this large is kind of an undesirable amount of space between these. So I'm going to, I think -25 was okay. Let me try a little bit more. I mean, there's some presets in here, but you could go ahead and type in a number that works. I really like this tight letter spacing on headers like this, so I think I might just go with -30. I like how they're almost bumping into each other. So I adjusted the position of this paragraph a little bit, and I need to go back and fix this rule, so I would just click on that and use my direct selection tool to click this endpoint, hold the shift key to lock it to a horizontal, and then just I'm going to eye it up here. I want it to be aligned with the top of my text, and I'll move this one as well.